Good evening from the Channel's newsroom here in London. Italy's caretaker Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte has accepted a mandate to form a new coalition with a vow to lead a more united, inclusive Italy, a week after the collapse of his government dominated by nationalists. League leader Matteo Salvini triggered the downfall of the previous coalition. But his partner, Five Star, has now reached a deal with the centre-left. Mr Conte, an independent ex-law professor, had already attacked Mr Salvini in Parliament last week, accusing him of creating a political crisis for personal and party interests. After President Sergio Mattarella gave him a mandate to form a new coalition, he said Italy had to make up for lost time, as it was in a very delicate phase. Jets believed to be Syrian or Russian have struck a main rebel-held city in northwest Syria, killing at least 9 civilians.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
The airstrikes hit Marat al-Numan, from which tens of thousands of people have fled in the last 2 weeks, fearing an imminent assault by advancing Russian-backed Syrian troops. Video released by local media and Syrian civil defense groups, also known as the White Helmets, showed rescue crews pulling bodies from the rubble of collapsed buildings. Residents said heavy airstrikes hit other villages and towns in Idlib province. Hundreds of people are continuing to protest outside the British Parliament to denounce Prime Minister Boris Johnson's decision to suspend Britain's Parliament for more than a month. Protesters chanted "Stop the coup" as they waved EU flags and held placards. Suspending Parliament limits the time MPs have to pass legislation to stop a no-deal Brexit, but it also increases the chance that Johnson could face a vote of no confidence in his government and possibly an election.
Stop just carrying on with our normal lives. This is taking away our rights that we fought, that people in many wars fought for.
Well, we're here to fight for our democracy. I believe that whether you're pro-Brexit or, anti-Brexit, we need to fight for what's ours, and we really, democracy is so important. It's taught from such a young age as such a vital thing about being a British person, and today it just completely ruins that, tramples it and throws it out.
Brazil has banned setting fires to clear land for 60 days in response to a massive increase in the number of fires in the Amazon rainforest. The decree was signed by President Jair Bolsonaro, who has faced intense criticism at home and abroad for failing to protect the rainforest. A leading Brazilian environmentalist has also warned that the worst of the fire is still yet to come. South American countries will meet next week to discuss the crisis. It remains unclear what impact the ban will have, as environmentalists say the overwhelming majority of forest clearance in the Brazilian Amazon is already illegal and enforcement is lax. The rainforest, which is a vital carbon store that slows down the pace of global warming, has seen more than 80,000 fires break out so far this year. Staying on the topic of climate change, and the Swedish teen activist Greta Thunberg has arrived in New York after her epic transatlantic voyage by boat. The 16-year-old, who set sail from England on August the 14th, arrived to cheers and applause from onlookers as she sailed into New York Harbour. Thunberg opted to make her journey carbon emission-free by sailing on a 60-foot yacht equipped with solar panels and underwater turbines that produce electricity on board. Speaking to the media afterwards, she continued to urge people to stand up for the environment.
It may seem impossible and hopeless sometimes, but it always does. So you just have to continue, because if you try hard enough and long enough, you will make a difference, and if enough people stand together.
The US Senator Kirsten Gillibrand has ended her bid for the Democratic nomination for president.
God bless you all!
It's after the 52-year-old failed to gain enough traction in opinion polls or to qualify for the third debate. Gillibrand is the latest in a spate of Democrats to end their campaigns in the past month after failing to make headway in the crowded field of more than 20 contenders vying to challenge Republican President Donald Trump in the November 2020 election. And finally, the stars have been arriving in style at the Venice Film Festival. Brad Pitt was among a host of celebrities who travelled to the festival by boat. His co-star in the space adventure Ad Astra, Liv Tyler, was also in attendance. Other celebrities included Isabelle Fontana, Kate Upton and Laura Dern. The Venice Film Festival runs through until September the 7th. And that's your international news around the world in 5.